We have the power, my lad. Stop giving it away. Use it to your best ability, my lad. Happiness every time, my brother. Yo. We have my next brother again. He wanna sit. He's a master everything, my lad. Sosa King.
I wasn't gonna speak, but something happened today. I wasn't here for it, but it made me think about how the week started. I usually start my weeks on a Sunday, and I've been starting my week every Sunday for like the past 6 months with my fellow gentleman brothers over here, Nelson, Ed, and a few others, right? So we start our weeks on a Sunday, and Sunday I was talking to a gentleman, and somebody asked me like, yo, why do you keep harping on this individual? And I let him know, or why do you keep harping on this man's masculinity, right? And I heard someone say a while ago, one of the speakers that I listened to, is like, a man, you are born male and female, but you must choose to become a man and a woman, right? A lot of people think that just because you have a testicle and a penis between your legs, that makes you a man. That just makes you a male of the human species.
Yes,
and women, it's a little bit different. Women grow into their womanhood, right? Women have their rite of passages at the age of 12 and 13. Us men, our rite of passage used to be done by the men in our community. Today we lack that. Right? So we have a lot of males, bro, walking around society today, behaving like adult children. They lack the qualities of a man, and so now we have this coined phrase that they call toxic masculinity, which is not toxic masculinity at all, because it's kind of like, what was the word that is an oxymoron. Like saying toxic masculinity is like saying an unfaithful, faithful person. Right? Toxic masculinity can't go with toxic, because masculinity by its nature is positive. Right? You got feminine and masculine, positive and negative, as it relates to the gender of just nature in general. A lot of people associate feminine with being female, and it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? There's an energy, there's a quality of being, just like masculine doesn't mean male is a quality of being. Being masculine is being positive, is being one within yourself. We have a lot of lack of masculinity in our society, in our men, right? Our men lack diligence, they lack discipline, they lack focus and purpose, they lack love and the ability to admire their fellow brothers for the qualities that they have that are admirable. So we lack the capacity, because we lack the love and the ability to admire. We lack the capacity to recognize a lot of our fellow brothers' talents in such a way that it encourages them rather than discourage them. And something that was happening today was that, we have men that lack the capacity to admire, so they envy. They lack the capacity to love, so they hate. You get what I'm saying? They lack a standard of communication. They don't know how to be impeccable with their word, as the Four Agreement encourages, and so they lack the capacity to have a high standard of communication and to speak positively about themselves and about others. Their inner dialogue is it's too negative, it's too toxic, it's too perverted, because they lack discipline and they're too wasteful with their sexual energy. You get what I'm saying? It has no purpose because they lack purpose, so they are greedy. They want more than they deserve and then they need. And like the leech, as Proverbs says, like the leech, it just says give, give, give. They have nothing good to say about the society, the abundant society that we live in. We live in the richest society in the world, America, the richest. Poverty does not exist. Poverty is a state of mind, it's a state of consciousness, right? That's why the book says, where there's no vision, the people perish. So they lack the standard to communicate properly, to have the proper inner dialogue within themselves, because they lack the vision. They don't have any vision of a better future. They're filled with wrath. They're filled with anger because of what the tell-I visions tell to their visions, which just consistently feeds lies to their visions. And so they are disorientated. They're filled with despair, with anger, with grief, and so they lack the attitude of a lion. They don't have the mindset of a man. They don't know how to be a man because they don't have a vision of what it is to be a man, because they lack the communication skills and the temperance and the self-discipline and the focus and balance and the purpose and charitableness that it takes to be a man, the creativity and the discipline To be diligent, purposeful, and to not be consistently procrastinating and wasteful and greedy and envious and deceiving and manipulative and always angry and arrogant. Having what I like to call a foolish pride. They're arrogant because they lack knowledge of self.
Sure.
So that's what I really wanted to touch on today. You know, being a man is probably the toughest thing there is to do. It's very easy to be an adult child, an adult male boy, playing at being a man because he has children, because he can smoke, because he can drink, because he can go out and party, because he has sexual intercourse with a lot of women, because he has money. It's very easy to deceive yourself into thinking that you are a man when you lack the humility, you know what I'm saying, to sit comfortable in your square, you know what I'm saying, and not feel the need to overexert yourself in unnecessary ways to attract unnecessary attention.
Sure.
Be yourself at every moment of time and every point in place. Do what you can with what you got, and let others speak higher of you than you tend to speak about yourself. As Proverbs says, let another man's lips praise you and not your own.
Not your own.
Because if you start praising yourself, that is being just prideful. And that's how Lucy fell from his station next to God.
Right.
He overexerted and became, overinflated with his hubris and his arrogance, and forgot that his source is the source.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So as Marcus Aurelius suggested, submit yourself to something greater than yourself. As a man, we need to submit ourselves to something greater than ourselves. If we want our women to gladly submit to us, then we must be submitted to a purpose that is greater than us, so that they never feel uncomfortable and unsafe being with us, because our focus is greater than us. Other than that, that's all.